Hello friends, and welcome back, or welcome if you are new. If you are new here, my name is Elena and I am the homeschooling mama to 3 kiddos. Here on this channel we talk about homeschooling and homemaking and all the things in between. Planners, books, freezer cooking. Really, when I say everything in between, I mean everything in between. Today I'm going to share a little book haul with you, so if that's something you like to see, stay tuned. So this is the little book haul that I have. I got a couple of these packages and then I just saved them until I got the bigger one on the bottom. Most of these are from Thriftbooks. I purchase secondhand books when we can. It fits our budget better, and most of the time they're in pretty great condition. I've also purchased kiddos books secondhand because my kids can sometimes, especially my younger ones, be a little bit tougher on them, and thus I don't feel so like cringy when they get dented or anything like that. The first book though, we'll just jump right in. This first little package is from Thriftbooks, and this is The Chronicles of Narnia, C.S. Lewis, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So this one is number 5. Yep, number 5 in the series. We had purchased a few years back from the library, a library sale, the collection, but it was just missing this one. The entire collection, the other books, only turned out to be, I think, like 75 cents. So just because it was missing one book, I wasn't going to pass up that deal. So I went ahead and got it, and then we just had to replace this book here. Like I said, I got it from Thriftbooks, and it is, it looks practically brand new. I don't even think no, it's not even creased on the sides here. Oh, it's not even creased on the sides here. So either someone was really gentle or no one has actually read it and it's just kind of been tossed around. It has a price tag underneath the Thriftbooks sticker that says $1.99. I'm not sure what I paid for it, though. I will look it up and put it there, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't $1.99. So this is our first one that we got. I'm reading this, or I'm trying to read this as part of our read alouds with my kids. So that's why we wanted to get the rest of the series. The next book I received was also from Thriftbooks. This one just came in their mailer type bag. This one is Scarlet. It is the sequel to Gone with the Wind. Sorry, I'm on the right spot for that. This is a giant book, and I did get it in the hardcover. I remember reading this when I think I might have been in high school. My mom and dad had actually introduced me to the movie Gone with the Wind, and I became slightly obsessed with it, and they had this in the paperback version. So I know that I read it, but it was so long ago that I don't remember the story anymore. I don't remember the sequel. So I just went ahead and purchased it from Thriftbooks. This is, like I said, a giant book. I got it in hardcover though because the paperback version that I remember reading at my parents' house, the print inside was so tiny, and I was like, I don't think I really want to do that. So the print in this one is better. It's a little bit bigger. It is though over 800 pages. It is 823 pages. So this will not be a book that I like throw in my bag and take with us when we run errands or anything like that. Sometimes I will do that to see if I can like fit in 5 to 10 minutes if we're waiting or something like that of reading, but this will be a book that just stays home. So this is the second book that we received. The next book we received was also from Thriftbooks, and it came just in this like brown mailer type thing. I know exactly which book this is because I have been waiting for it. I am super excited to start this new project. This one is the Amish Canning Cookbook. Sorry, I know the glare is kind of crazy. So this is the Amish Canning Cookbook. It's a short history of canning, a list of all the tools and supplies you need, basic instructions, recipe for fruit, vegetables, meat, soups, sauces, and more, and guidelines for adapting the recipes to fit your family's taste. So I picked up this book because I want to learn how to can, and unfortunately I don't have anybody, I haven't had anybody around me that in person that I know that can teach me. And so I'm going to embark on this adventure on my own, kind of through looking at YouTube videos and reading. I believe this book actually came from, the recommendation for this book came from a YouTuber. I believe it was the Needy Homesteader that I saw this book first mentioned on her channel. So I'm going to try to do this. And then finally, we received a box. I ordered a box from the Book Bundler. I have ordered from them before. We ordered children's books before, and I believe Christmas books too. I will link the video to one of our unboxings from Book Bundler. I don't think that I recorded the Christmas one last year, but I didn't because I wasn't on YouTube yet. But I do have one more, so I will link that up in the cards and then down in the description. Please be gentle to us when you watch it. It was one of my first videos that my son helped me record, so it is a little choppy, but I mean, aren't all my videos? So this box is their mixed classics, and let me see, it says Classics of Literature, Mass Market Paperbacks, 15 books, and they are the premium used. So what Book Bundler does is bundle up used books, and you can either pick premium, which means slightly used, to average use, I guess, and then the beater books are like ex-library books, and they're a little bit more beat up, if you will. So they have two options for you. I want to try to read some more classic. It's something that I just started wanting to try to do a little bit more. I'm just beginning and looking at different books and things like that. I have started reading a little bit more. I used to really enjoy reading, and it was one of those things that, you know, kind of with the hustle and bustle of life, I stopped doing as much. So we've been checking out a lot more books. I'm sure if you've been watching our last couple of videos, we do have like library hauls, and then a couple you'll see on our shopping days that we're looking at more books and things like that. Anyways, I wanted to get more classics on my shelves and kind of just dive in and read, but I was having a really hard time deciding where I wanted to start with classics. So I thought picking up this kind of grab box of classics, if you will, would be a great place to kind of give me a little bit of selection and just kind of figure out what to read from there. So this is how it arrived. It came, with the exception of the plastic, I just tore that off, but this was in plastic, and then there's a book right here. So it is packaged pretty well. They didn't move very much in transit, I would say. So let's take a look and see what we got. This book on the side is George Orwell, 1984. I'm very excited because I did want a copy of this. I do remember reading this book in high school, and I just remember even then thinking how, yeah, we aren't too far from that. So I'm glad that we have this and we can add this to our collection. This book looks pretty nice. The spine is not really cracked at all, or bent, or whatever you would, I call it cracked when it's like all the way. I don't, and it's still, you're able to open it and read it through. I am known to like crack my spines though, because I like to like open my books and, like I said, throw them in my bag. So I know some are probably like cringing at that, but I like to take my books with me. So this one doesn't have any writing or anything like that. So this is a pretty good copy. It's I like the cover of it, and I'm excited to reread this. The next one in here is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This one is a little bit more loved. This is the Barnes & Noble Classic Edition. This one you can see down at the bottom. It's a little bit more loved on. It's definitely had some use and carried around type things with them, probably tossed in backpacks and things like that, but it is still readable. The print is a little bit small, so it's probably not something that I'll be reading like late at night, because the print is kind of tiny, and by the time the night comes, my eyes are tired. I don't think that I've read any Emily Bronte before. I don't think that I have. I'm not sure, but here's a good one to have on the shelves and see if that's something that I enjoy. Another one we received is Victor Hugo's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This one is one that I have not read. I've only seen Disney's cartoon animation classic version of this. I know, don't come for me. I just am being honest, okay? So this might be I think that this might be a good read for the month of October. This seems like it would be just something fun to kind of get into. If you've read this before and you feel like this is a good like October read, let me know down below. We also received To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is the exact copy. I remember reading this cover art and everything from when I was in high school. So this book just, yeah, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of when I reread this. It was either high school or junior high that we read this book. I think that we have a copy of this because of for my son, but I'm not quite sure. I have to check. but I'm pretty sure we have this copy. If we have one of, if we have an extra, like if we already have a copy, it's okay. We will just pay it forward, or put it in one of the little free libraries, something like that. Oh no. So it looks like I got a duplicate. I got another version of 1984 by George Orwell. Remember, we just opened this one up. So not a big deal, because I believe they say on their sites, if you receive a duplicate, to send them a message and let them know, and I think they will just make it right. So I'm not sure what exactly that means, but I will message them and let them know that I received 2 of the same books. And then I also got Ibsen 4 Major Plays, Volume 1, A Dollhouse, The Wild Duck, Hedda Gabler, and The Master Builder. I've not heard of this at all. If you have, please let me know down below. I've not heard of it at all. These are 4 plays. It looks like plays are a little hard for me to read. They're a little hard for me to read through just as a book. So like Shakespeare is really tough for me to get into, because in the book format, because it's hard for me to read a play and not be acting it out, I guess. I don't know. We received another George Orwell. This one is Animal Farm. I am excited that we received this one. This one has like a little sticker thing on the back that was before, but it's a pretty thin book, and it looks like it's in pretty decent condition. There's no writing inside any of these books, but I did want to read this. This is one of the classics that I had like on my short list that I wanted to start adding to our collection, so I'm excited that we got this. I don't know that this is a classic. Bodies of Evidence, The Shocking True Story of America's Chilling Serial Murderess. So honestly, this is probably something I'm not going to read, and I guess I don't know what would, classics of literature is what it's called. I'm not sure that, I don't know. Would you consider this a classic? Let me know in the comments down below, because maybe my version of what I'm thinking of classics is something different, but this is considered one. This is about Julius Buenoano. She was an American success story, a savvy businesswoman. She pulled herself up from a childhood of poverty. Blah. Oh, no. This is not a book that I will read. This book, her first victim called her his wife, his second victim called her his lover, and her third victim called her mom. Her fourth victim lived to tell the story that would lead to her execution. And then there's 8 pages of photos in here. Given where my mental stage is right now, kind of where my head has been the past few months, I don't think that I'm going to be reading this. Lately I have been reading as a means of an escape, and to just kind of take a little time out from the chaos of the world, and this is not something that I think I will be picking up anytime soon and reading, so I'm going to put it in the donate pile. I also received The Scarlet Letter. I actually just checked out the graphic novel of this. Our library has a manga copy of the graphic novel, or a graphic novel in the manga style. I'm not exactly sure how you would word that. So I picked it up because I remember reading this book also, and I thought it would be kind of cool to see the graphic novel version of it. So I'm glad we have the actual book of it too. And then the last book in here is Selected Tales, Edgar Allan Poe. This doesn't say that it has, the only one that I really know of Edgar Allan Poe is The Raven, but that's a poem. So this I know for sure would probably be some great reading for October, but I don't know that I am that brave. This book does have kind of a little bend in it, like, let's see if I can show you a better angle. So I'm holding it flat in my hands, and it has a little like divot that goes down and then up in the cover here, and then it does have some like creasing in the spine here, but it's not written in, and inside looks totally fine. So that's, I mean, this, I just want to give you a little update when I can of what the used books look like and what we're looking at. I don't know that I'll be reading this. I'm gonna leave it on the shelf for a little while and see if I pick it up. But if not, it will probably become part of an unhaul, part of a pass it on to someone else. So actually, I only received 10 books and I was supposed to receive 15. So when I send a message over to Book Bundler, I will let them know that I received a duplicate, but also I didn't receive all of my books. That honestly, like I said, this is like a third. This is our third bundle from, or third order from Book Bundler. The first time around, I believe I ordered 2 sets of books. Actually, I think the second order was also 2 bundles. And then this was my third time ordering from them. Ironically, this was the smallest order I did, but this is the only one I've had mistakes on. The other 2 times we didn't have any mistakes. We didn't have any miscounts or anything like that, or any duplicates. So I don't want to let that deter you from ordering. If I hear back from them, I'm going to go ahead and message them after we wrap this up, and hopefully before I get this video out, I will have a response and I can update you on that. Okay, so I wanted to give a quick update on what happened with the Book Bundler and reaching out to customer service. So the way that their site is set up, they ask you to contact them via Facebook Messenger if you have any problems and want to speak to someone. They do have a number. I don't remember if it's toll-free or not, but it's not if you have problems with your orders. It's for a couple of other issues. So if you don't have Facebook, this would kind of be a problem because you would have no way to message them. They do have an email that is listed on their website as well. But so here's what I ended up doing. I sent a message via Facebook the Saturday that I realized that we were missing a few and then I had received duplicates. And then you kind of go through this automated service and you can, an automated bot, and then it gives you the option if you'd like to speak to a person. And then when I clicked that, it said to type out the message exactly as I wanted the human to read it, and they would forward it on, and I should hear from someone. I should give them 24 hours at least to respond. So I sent them a message, and that was Saturday afternoon. It doesn't say business hours, but that's kind of what it ended up taking. I didn't hear back from them over the weekend, and on Monday was the great Facebook, Twitter, and all the things when they shut down for several hours. So on that day, I went ahead and looked on their website and found their email. And I did email the customer service as well. I went ahead and emailed customer service as well because I honestly don't check Facebook very often. I have a very small account and I don't use it. I only use it for one thing right now, and well, now 2 things because I had to message Book Bundler, but it's not something that I go on frequently at all. I messaged their customer service, and in that message I did let them know I had also sent a message via Facebook Messenger. So I ended up hearing back from them about 3 days later. I'm trying to glance over at the calendar. So I heard back from someone via Facebook 3 days later, and they said that they would be happy to help me with what had gone wrong. I provided them the titles that I did receive. I did snap a picture of the box and the books all together so they would have that as well. And then I asked them if they would be letting me know if I would be getting a tracking number or anything like that, because I did want to update this video. So they said that they would send me a tracking number as soon as they had got the package together. So about 2 days later, actually it was 2 days later, I received a tracking number, and here we are. This would be the 4th business day after I received the tracking number, which I will say is not bad for turnaround, especially in this time when tracking is kind of slower and things are just getting harder to ship and things like that. So the package has arrived, and I will show you what is inside. So it just comes in this little cardboard box, and then inside the box it is plastic wrapped books in a plastic bag here. So which is great. I appreciate it because in my area right now, especially today, it is raining. So I feel like they would be another layer of protection there. So it looks like we received 8 books, and the first one is The Oxbow Incident by Walter Van Tilburg Clark. And then the next book we received is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I'm excited. I've been hearing lots about this book lately. Kind of just seems like it's the season for classics. And so hopefully I will read this soon. we received this one. The books all look like in great condition. They're clearly used and they've been read. This one is just like a little bit dirty. I don't know if the camera will pick it up around the edges, and a few pages are dog-eared, but I don't really mind that at all. The spine is not even really broken, but it is a little worn from like picking up and stuff, things like that. And the pages are just slightly yellowed, but it's that like older book kind of yellowing. It's not, how do I say it? It's just like I think that's just the color of the pages, like the older book kind of. I don't even think this has been opened all the way because when I went to show it, I know I'll crack the spine when I open it. And then we also received Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This is, it says Barnes & Noble Classic. So also another great read for the month of October. So that is great. The Awakening and Selected Short Fiction by Kate Chopin. And then we received the Iliad, Homer, translated by W.H.D. Rouse, and then with a new introduction by Seth Al-Shine, I think is how you pronounce it. And this one too is in great condition. The spine has been broken, so it has been read, but there's no writing or anything like that inside of it. The next is Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. I am excited for this. I have not read very many classics, and I've not read anything else from Robert Louis Stevenson. Didn't he write Treasure Island? I think that's probably the only one that I read, embarrassingly enough. So hopefully we'll broaden my horizons here with some more classics. And then we also received Hamlet from the Shakespeare Library. Again, plays are really hard for me to read. I do remember reading this in high school, so I don't know. Maybe we'll give it a go on another month, but definitely not this month. And then finally, we received The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. I am excited for this one. I don't think that I've ever seen the book version of it. I, of course, have seen the Disney version of the movie, but I'm excited to take a look at this. There is some pictures in here as well, so all in all, I'm really excited. I think the customer service handled it fairly well. I do think that only having the Facebook option was difficult until I was able to do some more searching on their website and actually find an email for customer service. I can't speak to that because I didn't get a response from that email, but like I did mention, I did say in the email that I had already messaged them via Facebook. So since maybe they responded via Facebook and I responded back, they were just able to handle it that way, so it didn't cross too many wires. This also is, I believe, my third order from Book Bundler, and the first two both arrived great. The very first time I ordered from them, I ordered 2 different boxes and they came. There was no mistakes with it. The second box that I ordered, the second bundle, also arrived with no problems. It's just one of those things that happens. I mean, it's going to happen, but I don't think that this will ever deter me from ordering from them again. I think that they handled it wonderfully, and I would encourage you to maybe check it out if you're looking to get some books and you don't mind, or if you even are like us and you like used books. Go ahead and check them out and see what they've got. That's it for the video today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this was of use to you, or that you enjoyed going through these boxes with us. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you aren't already, maybe consider subscribing. I was going to try to do one of those things where I like balance them so you can see them all, but I'm already looking and I'm like, you are asking for a mess. Yeah, no, see, I don't think it's going to happen. Here's Steve. If I put Scarlet on top, that's it. I'm just,